Hello everyone, welcome to A Story Worth Telling, where we review all things LGBTQ in cinema and TV.
There's a plus there,
and well, yeah,
and everyone else.
My memory, I forget the extra, like.
Yeah, the
I'm
alphabet
the
is hard.
worst gay for remembering the gay alphabet because I know it, and then my brain just goes her letters.
I'm the worst for the flag and the flag colours, because I know each colour in the flag, but each flag colour represents like an emotion or like a sexual orientation. Or something.
Yeah, well they were meant to. Yeah. But I'm quite good at like looking at
fun
flag
with flags.
And fun with flags.
Why do we do a fun with flags? We should do that.
Anyway, sorry, wait, we're doing an intro, right? Fun with flags. Yes, so we. Oh wow,
I'll take
rusty.
it, shall I?
You take over.
Today we're going to review the trailer for the new Netflix show Boots.
You've been really excited about this.
I have. I've been mentioning it almost constantly.
I think, yeah, you have, and I think it's because you have a little bit of a fetish for army people, but.
Well, we can talk about that later.
And that's on the exclusive.
But fun fact.
Okay.
And you don't know this fact. So this is going to be fun for you as well.
No, I haven't done research.
No, but the lead actor in this also played a queer role in. Hold that yawn. In.
It's because you speak so slowly.
I'm just trying to get my point across. The lead actor in this. Where was I? The lead actor in this also played a queer role in 13 Reasons Why.
Oh, right.
And it was a scene with him that made this whole thing come into being. Because it was his acting, or rather the
Yes.
script that he was given, where I thought, that doesn't seem like realistic at all.
Yes, if I remember correctly, you thought it was terrible acting for queer representation, and thus we made the channel.
I did, yeah.
So what you're saying is we're about to
Let's hope there's been some growth.
Yeah. We're about to get some shit.
Yeah. But also Boots is quite fun because it's not only like, army boots, it's also like boots.
And what does that mean, Josh?
Well, it means like slay or house down mama.
You're just saying words.
It's a way of expressing.
I love the way you interpret the queer language. You're like, house down, mama. Like, what?
Slay, queen, boots.
You look so uncomfortable when you say all of it as well. House down, mama.
I don't like slang words. I don't feel any sense of ownership over it.
Yes, it's exciting. It's a niche topic, as is a lot of things that kind of deal with military or army orientated stories of queer representation, because I think they're so kind of like, that whole subject in and of itself has always been a bit of like a tough topic to discuss because of laws around things, prejudice and discrimination that happens within. Progress has been trying to change that. I remember that film that we watched a few years back called The Inspection. Do you remember that? And that was... Yeah, we watched it and we were like, damn, that's good.
Not on this show, though.
Not on this show.
No.
But that was a really good film as well.
Not this show.
Not
on this channel.
On this channel. For the same thing about kind of discussing queer lives within a setting of active service or any form of I don't know.
And I don't just mean active service.
Active service. So it's a fun one, but also like I feel like the stories are always evolving in how they're telling these kind of things. I don't know, because there's one way to tell them where it's just like, oh, that queer person had a really rough time, but then there's other ways of telling them where like, that person might be like trying to change the ways of thinking from the inside out, like... I
don't think it's going to be that.
Well, you don't know.
Well, the thing is, in the Americas, in the US, they don't have that. In the US, like, people go into the military at such a young age, so I can definitely see there being people that sign up to the army at maybe 16 or 18, and they're having their like sexual awakening during that period in a place that is very much like hyper masculine, kind of regimented. There's no like well, I don't know, there might be, but in my view, there's no place to hide. You're constantly like, you're bunking with people, you're under the spotlight of your officers or something. There's no like freedom to explore that in a way that, you know,
wondering if we're going to explore other things like, I mean, in particular right now in America, for example, the kind of the conversations and the backward law making on trans rights in the military and stuff is a huge thing as well, and it's been going on for several years. So I'm wondering if you might get some of that.
Well, there's been a lot of chapters. Levels. There was like the Don't Ask, Don't Tell chapter.
Yeah.
Do you think it was the same in the UK? Yeah, so there's been some growth, but also more recently some kind of backpedaling.
If you're in a country where the opportunity to escape as a young person is to go into the military, then there's a big conversation there about like, why is that kid trying to escape in the first place? Because there's a lot of like, the military is kind of used as this like, what we've seen, what at least I've seen in representation sometimes, is that the military is used as this like, if you're having a tough time or you want to get away from home or you don't feel like you fit in, go to the military. But then we also know about this stigma. So it's kind of like, it's a bit of a weird dynamic, because if you have a queer child who's like, oh, I don't fit in anywhere and I'm struggling to get acceptance, is that the right place for them to be going if they're then going into an environment that could be just as bad? Or
I mean, that's quite interesting. I mean, maybe we'll get into it, but there might be an element of like, I don't know how to process these feelings, and actually maybe the best thing I can think of is to go to this hyper masculine environment where it's going to be drilled into me, and there's going to be like, you know, regimented stuff and like almost like a kind of self-conversion camp kind of vibe. I mean, who knows? I don't know where this story will go.
I mean, I would go if I was being drilled into.
Yes, Toad Sergeant! Anyway, so if you enjoy this video at any point, please give it a like and follow us for more stuff. And if you want to see the full thing unedited and all of our conversations and such as, then go to Patreon below. There's links in the description. Go check it out.
Yeah, baby.
All right. That was a useful addition. Thank you.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
On behalf of the commanding general of this base, I hereby welcome you to Marine Corps Recruit Depot. Now get the
yeah, that's the guy.
Boss!
Oh dear. Actually, that isn't the start of the story. Today's the first day of the rest of our lives.
Okay, so this was set like
The Marines?
A man needs a mission.
Need something to aim for. Which brings us back to here.
Why do you want to be a Marine, Cameron?
For freedom.
This is what you were saying. It's like a form of escapism.
What I see before me is
No.
jerk-offs and fat bodies.
I don't think I would look good with a bald head.
Thought that you meant like mud and some bug bites.
Some of you have never been tested, but I will push you until you break. It's my twin brother.
We used to be triplets, John A. Dale.
I'm not sure I can tell any of the characters apart. Just saying.
I think it'd be so lonely here.
Some of you in this room will carry a lot of weight in your pack. We've all got something to carry.
Things will turn around. Just gotta show them.
I don't think you'd survive.
I'd be fucked.
Get your feet up!
These aren't boys to you, they're numbers. They are people's sons. My son.
My mother told everyone I died so she could sell lipstick.
I love her. She's in like
Never
the...
even shot a gun before.
Yeah, the scary one.
Maybe you can throw it all away. For me, I got nothing. What kind of man do you want to be?
I have to say, this feels like a recruitment drive for the US Army.
It is just the first day.
We've only been here for one day.
Oh.
Boots! Boots!
I don't know how I feel about watching that.
There's a lot less queerness in that than I thought there was going to be, but I think it is there. I think there's going to be a couple of bits.
There's something about it that feels uncomfortable. I don't know what it is, but I think it's like the same sort of uncomfortable as the characters in the show are portraying them feeling. And so there's something there that I need to figure out. I think the whole idea around like this kind of big conversation about hypermasculinity and kind of like driving that in is also the driving force behind making content like this that kind of like wants to explore that and go, isn't this like ridiculous, or isn't this something that like we need to think about our young boys necessarily? Should they be exposed to that, or should someone feel the need to have to be? And I think that same kind of like is the thing that I get when I watch it, because I'm like, you know, it's like for example, I know I would never survive that kind of thing, but is there a world where I could have gone early on in my development, fuck it, I need to throw myself
I just shaved my head.
Yeah. Oh god, no, not my hair. But like, you know, and it's that kind of like,
I thought that they might do more storytelling about kind of flipping on its head and going, look at how toxic this is. But actually, I don't know if they're...
well, I don't know.
I don't know if they're doing that.
But then immediately when you saw that sign bit, that was like it looked like it was like a list of restrictions, and the one being homosexuality.
Well, I'm going to watch it.
I'm going to watch it. I just don't know what to expect from these kind of things, because I feel like the messaging is always so... it treads a line where it's like, what are you trying to say? And that's what I'm trying to figure out.
I'm actually kind of hoping that this is going to be one of those like Brokeback Mountain ones where the trailer is very much like, bros, we need to watch this shit. And actually there's going to be scenes where you're like,
maybe
this is not what I signed up for. But actually...
because I find it really... like, I also found it really disturbing watching that trailer and then also hearing George Michael's Freedom, because I was like, "Oh, this feels a little bit weird." Like, is that freedom? I don't know. But you know, I've also spoken to people in my life that have talked about how going into the army or any time of like, you know, military service has been some of the most freeing, and they found it incredibly accepting for their sexuality, and they didn't ever experience anything bad, which is a great thing to know and a great thing to hear. But I think I, myself included, are one of these people that have it built in that any form of depiction of that just has negative connotations to its implications on people's sexuality and their ability to experience freedom without, you know, persecution.
Having said that, I did CCF at school, as you may or may not know.
Oh, so did I.
Marching up and down the square. But actually, I can definitely see how relinquishing responsibility for like your timetable for your day, like, you know what you're going to be doing every day is training, there's people to guide you through, like basically someone managing your life. And sure, it might be like physical and demanding and all the rest of it, but ultimately you know what you signed up for. But maybe not having to think about, oh, what am I going to cook for myself today, what am I going to do for this, what am I going to do when am I going to wash my clothes, like all of that stuff's taken care of. So maybe that gives you the space to be like, I like cock.
But the problem there is that, are you actually trying to fill up your time to avoid thinking about things that you should be thinking about? Because there are moments in that trailer where like he's being shouted at and being told to do this thing, he's got to get this, and then the moments where he finally has like a moment to like think about something is where he's in the shower and he's like looking around, and you're like, oh fuck, like is he trying to get away from that, you know? Because there's a level of like, almost, I think we could be going down a story of like, I'm trying to avoid accepting, you know, I don't know. There's so many ways you can look at it. Like, because to me, I would just feel so oppressed going into, like, I hated CCF. I can't think of
Was it
anything
mandatory
worse.
for you?
It wasn't mandatory. You could sign up, but then once you signed up, like you had to like commit.
You're locked in.
Yeah, and like but I hated it. But I don't like this idea that like there is a level of like you need to learn to grow up and deal with hardships by being more of a man, and therefore like, you know, you can deal with things that way. And it's like, shaving my head and getting me used to rolling around in mud and stuff and like learning how to like put a gun together aren't things that make me a man and therefore make me deal with shit better. And that's where I don't like the message. If you want to say the discipline side of things, I get that.
Discipline and resilience.
And the resilience. And I think that is a good thing, absolutely. But be careful where you start to cross the line where you're like do that, but I think you can I also think you can get that level of like thing from like not just army stuff, but like any kind of like different career paths and stuff. But also
a desk
the
job.
problem, well, you can get it from a lot of different things, but like the problem with the army is then it goes into the realms of like, and I hope it doesn't do this anymore, and I never would expect it from like HCF, is that when you go too far into that discipline thing, you then start to be like, be a man, and that is where that kind of like, okay, whoa, now you're talking about like what I have to be in terms of like,
I think I have to change myself.
Yeah. Like what makes a man? And when you start to like throw in the risk of like, well, you can't be femme and you can't be gay and you can't not like mud, blah blah blah, and like all those things that you relate to, like that's where the problem is. And so that's why I have a bit of like a because also I know that's where this is going to go for
Probably.
sure. You know,
I want to paint my nails and wear this pink top.
Yeah.
And that's me.
And it's like, no, that's not that. You know, fucking hell. But anyway. Well, I clearly have a lot of feelings about this.
Well, but I think that's good because I think I don't know whether the show will go kind of again, will kind of shine a light on the toxicity that we all kind of I think are aware as exists there in this space. Whether it will touch on the queer angle a bit more, or you know what it will do, but
we might also like. I think there's definitely a degree of the reverse where like me as a queer person, and I'm sure some other people out there are prejudging, are so affronted by something, and we're like judging it like, oh, that's going to be like, you know, toxic masculinity, and I could be completely wrong, and it could actually like, you know,
that's true.
Turn something on me. Like I think there's a level of like. Not only could it do things for like telling the story about that, but it could actually make gay men in particular be a bit more like, oh, okay. Like, you know, maybe I've like misjudged this whole.
Maybe I should join the army.
No, well, you know, like.
Could do.
You never know. I think we have preconceptions about these kind of things and we're like, okay, that is a certain way. And it's fair enough. Like, I get it because we've had so much of that drilled into us in previous representation and actual life history. But there's different ways to tell stories. So maybe I could watch this and be like, oh, actually, it's a loving community.
Well, you can bet there's going to be some puns, that's for sure. I mean, that's a goal of mine. Top bunk, bottom bunk, drill sergeant, cardboard box.
Top bunk, bottom bunk, drill sergeant.
I'm going to climb you like an assault course.
Yes.
Off we go.
I don't mind an assault course. Like I don't mind.
When have you ever done an assault
I love
course?
a bit of Go Ape. Honestly, I love that shit.
Like swinging in the trees.
But if you're shouting at me and telling me to be a man and get in the dirt and like, I'm not enjoying it anymore. But like,
I'm just going to take myself away.
Yeah. But like, I love Go Ape. Like, that's great. Like, we do it as a community, fine. So you know, there's a balance.
I think Go Ape's boring now. It used to be that you had your two clips and you would clip on and clip off at each kind of tree station, and it was up to you whether you were secure or not. Now it's just like you got one long like thing and you're just walking around on it.
Yeah, for safety, because I'm sure people died, Josh.
No risk, like, no reward.
It's no longer fun because there's no risk of death.
Yeah, there's no feeling of threat.
Well, you know, for people like me, you got to put things like that in there.
I'm not meant to live an uncomfortable life.
I just don't see myself living an uncomfortable life.
So good.
Right, well, let us know what you think of this trailer coming up and this show coming up. And,
Boots House Down Mama.
Yes.
We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.